So back in when Tony Marks, our current library president, came on board, he was actually shocked that the big five publishers, who are all stationed here in New York, their corporate offices there, didn't sell to libraries. And so one of his personal missions was to get the big five publishers back into the libraries and selling content. So he personally went out and negotiated conversations with them and contracts with them to at least experiment getting that content back to libraries. And today, we proudly can say that all five publishers are back into and selling to libraries once more. So that really was the start of New York Public Library's efforts into improving ebook experience for libraries, getting the content that people want back into the library so they could access it. After that, we started to want to explore how we could make the access to the content much easier. So we took the first step of creating a movement called Readers First. Readers First is really basically a market advocacy group in which you take the collective voice of libraries to express in a collective way their wants and the desires of their ebook vendors and their ILS vendors, and to establish some type of rating system or buyer's guide for that to rate the different vendors and make recommendations to other libraries. And this was successful in that you started to see a response in the marketplace now that you had a consumer advocate for libraries out there providing a very clear standard of what the expectations were from libraries in a unified voice. And we started to see that change take place. All the ebook vendors started to open up their application programming interfaces. These interfaces established the means by which the different systems in the library could actually talk to one another. And that started to take root. And in fact, you will see many vendors state whether they are Readers First compliant as a measure of that. We still have a long way to go. I think the Readers First group is going to start looking at making a clearer definition of the standards on how we want to interface, so we can start to expect probably some specifications development around that we would like to share in the development with our vendors in partnership, and get those out and established into the marketplace. Another area that actually was born out of all this effort was the Library Simplified project, in which we tried to tackle the other issues with getting ebook access, which was the user experience, and that user experience being fractured across multiple applications and interoperable systems. So that was born the project that I was brought onto the public library to work on, and we're actually in the process of getting our certification from Adobe for our DRM, as well as submission to the Apple Store for our iOS client, and we are actually very shortly following up on an Android version of the application so that we can release that to libraries for free for their experimentation and use if they would like to recast their ebook services using a unified platform.